Good morning, my people. Good morning, good morning. Today is Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to all of those folks who are veterans. Thank you for your services. Let me back out of my garage. So yes, today is Monday, Memorial Day. Now, I know you guys are saying, oh my gosh, Lee, you don't have your braids. You don't have any extra hair. Your hair is super short. You cut your hair. Are you going through something? You guys, I have been asked that on numerous occasions, okay? And the answer is no. I'm not going through anything enough to make me cut my hair. Not going through anything bad enough that'll make me cut my hair off. I'm not one of those people. People who know me know that I make dramatic changes when it comes to my hair. I'm talking about super dramatic. 1 minute I'll be braids, 1 minute I'll be weave, 1 minute I'll be short, 1 minute I'll be long. It doesn't matter to me because it never has. Ever since I was in high school, I think I was one of the first girls in school to wear weaves. I've worn weave since then. I tried weave way back when. My friend's mom was a stylist, a hairstylist, and she used to use me as a model to do certain hairstyles for certain model shows and things like that. I don't know how official they were, but I've always been in hair shows, and so I've always cut my hair. As a matter of fact, when I was 17, 18, probably, I took, I wore the shortest hair. My hair was short like this, and I can show you some pictures. I may pop some pictures up while I'm talking about this at the same time. But yeah, I've always cut my hair, so no, I'm not going through some things. This last situation was, I know you've seen where I've gotten, went from braids to twist. And I recently went to twist maybe 2 weeks ago. I did a kinky twist style. I did not like the way the braider did it, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, the hair was cute. Like, there was really the colors that I wanted, but I wasn't feeling it. So I wore it for like a week while I was in Indy, basically. Wore it for like a week, and then got home. I think Saturday morning, I just was like, let me cut it out. Let me just, because I didn't even drive Saturday, I think. Yeah, I don't think I drove Uber Saturday. So I stayed home and I cut it out. And from my last haircut in September that I got, where I shaved it and everything, I got like a crew cut. There was relaxer still in it. So the relaxer has grown out. As you can see, the relaxer's grown out, but I cut a lot of it out. So when I cut my hair, I cut the relaxer out. I don't know if y'all could see that because my camera's following my face track. I cut the relaxer out. So that's hence the short look. Okay. My hair kind of has a curl pattern to it. Anybody with C4 hair has pretty much a curl pattern. Once you wet it, it gets soft and it'll curl up. So mine does that. And then I used a little bit of curl cream and leave-in conditioner to just kind of help enhance the curls. And then I topped it off with a foam, twist brush. That's it. So that's all I'm doing for now. I actually think it's pretty cute. I think it's cute. I'm not going to keep it like this because I know I'm going to Dallas in June. And then I'm going to Jamaica in July. So I really, really, really want braids at this time. I really want braids during this time. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll wear it for maybe a week or two. I'll wear it like this for maybe a week or two, trying not to put a color in it because when you wear your hair short, you want to put a color in it. Trying not to do any of that. I'm just trying to. This is the most naturalist look I have had in, oh my gosh, I don't know. With no hot iron, no flat iron, no, no flat iron, no nothing. Just true, my natural hair. But anyway, I am about to get gas. I'm about to drive for Uber for a while on Memorial Day. I'm not doing anything else. It's 8:35 in the morning. After I drove yesterday, I was super duper just, man, tired. And I was hungry. So I drove for like 4 hours yesterday. I made $98. So almost $25 an hour. And my goal is 100. So I'm right around the right time or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to go get my coffee. I'm going to get some gas. And then I have to go to the car wash to vacuum out this car a little bit. It rained here and it's going to rain again. So I'm probably not going to wash my car, but I'm definitely going to, wipe it down and vacuum it out because there were people in here yesterday. And like I said, it has like a weed smell in here and I don't like that. I will be back shortly. I don't think that I'll be using the DJI to record my passengers. As a matter of fact, I probably won't even do that today. I'm just really trying to get out here and hustle and make some money. So hopefully somebody's going to invite me to eat some barbecue a little bit later. We'll see. Whew, y'all. I just got finished cleaning out my car. And it was a doozy. I am sweating. Any makeup I thought I had is about gone. It was worse than I thought. So I cleaned the inside and the outside. Now I'm about to run through the car wash because regardless of what anyone says, the car was filthy. Now, as soon as I run through this car wash, I'm sure it's gonna rain because it's looking super gloomy today. And it's supposed to rain later this afternoon, but just depend on where you are in Georgia. And it is now 9 o'clock. Single wash, there's your Rust Guard Ultra V Protect, and I'm gonna do the $30 one today. Regardless of what it may do today, I gotta get my car cleaned. And because I don't like, let me tell you something, when I get in an Uber, I don't like getting in no dirty Uber. I do not like getting in a dirty Uber. And because you could be dressed nice, right? And the car is filthy. And you don't want to get in that car. I have canceled Lyfts and Ubers before. If I'm dressed to go somewhere and the car is filthy, I'll be like, you know what? Your car is too dirty to ride in. I mean, I'm sorry I have to say it that way, but that be the truth. You want me to get into your filthy behind car? So I was doing my own car cleaning and I just did the inside and the outside because it needed it. Now I'm gonna make my way to go pick up my first passenger. I wanted to even my makeup back out because I sweated. Man, that Google Nest that I have at home, no, it's just a bugger because it's always going off at the slightest thing. I just don't want to look like I just got done cleaning the car. I mean, now, anyway, this is as clean as it's gonna get. This is definitely better than before. Anything is better than before. These people are in a hurry today, honey. They do not have time to be playing around with my Uber behind. I am done driving Uber for today. I have driven 3 hours and 27 minutes. I've been online 3 hours and 27 minutes. And my total now is $80.42. I'm looking at it right here. I don't know if you can see it. So that's for today. I feel like I'm done for today. I feel like it. Although I can get back to Atlanta because I'm coming from Lithonia. I could get back to Atlanta and technically turn back on my camera and possibly have some, have a customer or something. So I just had someone to get out of my car, and I had a question. Talking to this young lady, we started talking about relationships, and I asked her, was she married? She was 30 something years old, and she has 2 young boys, and we were talking about relationships. She was a very friendly girl, very friendly, very sweet, seems to be smart, and just kind of on her grind, on her hustle. So I just kind of asked her, was she married? I don't know what it is about people that get in my car. They just kind of start to spill the beans about all kinds of things. But anyway, I engage. And so I asked her, was she married? And she was just like, no, I've been with my guy for about 15 years. And I said, well, do you want to marry him? Because they've got 2 boys together. And I'm like, do you want to marry him? She was like, no, not really. And she goes, but we know that about each other. And I said, well, why are y'all still together if you don't want to marry him? Like, if you just, and she said, because of infidelity. So I then say, all right, so infidelity, you don't want to marry him. She kind of explained that, the girl that he was cheating with was the one that told her about it. And then he didn't want to fess up to it. So he was still trying to lie about it, so on and so forth. And I said, well, young lady, well, if you're not going to marry him, why are you still with him? You're still with him anyway, even after he cheated. Like, make it make sense. I don't get what. And first of all, let me just say this. I understand that people who've been together for a very, very long time, they, I guess, get bored with each other or trying to figure out ways to keep the flame. I've never been with anybody for 15 years or let alone, my longest relationship, I think, was 7, 8 years maybe. Now I'm not even counting the first year we were trying to get to know each other, not that first year. But I did tell her that, it's unrealistic to think someone's not going to cheat. I'm not saying that every man cheats, but I am saying that in a relationship, someone is cheated on, whether it's the man or the woman. Either it's emotionally, physically. And if you're not married, I feel like I could give a pass to someone who may have, stepped out that I found out about. Because let's just face it, just because you haven't found out about it don't mean it didn't happen. And I'm definitely a realist about things like that, because sometimes women hold back. They hold back sex because of, as a form of punishment. And these days, it's so easy to go out here and meet someone who's just wanting to do that you are literally, a woman holding out on sex is literally playing with fire when she does that. I'm not saying that gives the man the right to cheat or the other person the right to cheat, but I am saying that be careful how you leverage yourself to a person. Just saying that, because I'm just a realist, and I just feel like, I don't condone cheating, and it happens. That's just the way it is. I don't want nobody toying with my life and my health by cheating on me. So if you ever suspect it, then you need to take care of yourself, because you're responsible for yourself, not that other person. Even though they're supposed to be your love, your mate, whatever the case may be, you're still responsible for yourself in every sense of the word. So if you feel or suspect your spouse or your mate or your friend, your lover, whatever, is having more than one encounter, you being one and then another one, then I would just say protect yourself, period. And whether that's by holding out completely, finding someone else, using, protection, which you should be doing anyway. But I digress. But I asked her, I said, well, why are you with him? What message are you sending based on the way he made you feel by cheating? Are you giving him a second chance? And if the answer is yes, you've given him a second chance, then why won't you marry him? Are you saying you want to justify not marrying him because he is a cheater, but you're still with him? And you're still giving him whatever, you're still in a relationship with him. He's still your plus one. You guys are still sexually active. But you won't marry him, and all of that comes with that. So anyway, I was just saying, make it make sense. I mean, obviously you do what you want to do, I respect her for even being honest about it, but you don't be with a person and just hang it over their head. If you found out they cheated, you don't just continue to be with them to make them feel bad about it or to remind them of it. I don't know. I if I was cheated on, I didn't know anything about it. Because number one, I don't go looking. Number two, I always ask God to just show me what kind of man I got. And eventually, all his flaws and everything that I said that I didn't want in a man reveals itself. I ask God. I trust him to send me the right person. And I put it in his hands. And when I say I put it in his hands, I truly put it in his hands. If I am being treated a certain way that I don't like to be treated, I'm not sticking around. A lot of people tell me all the time, Lee, you don't try. You run too easy. But listen, I only give you one opportunity to treat me bad. One time. Because that one time, all right, it always leads to other times. And I'm not a weak woman to where, oh my God, I got to have a man. I love you so much. I love you more than me. And you could just treat me any kind of way. Oh, that's just one time. And there was an excuse behind it. Or, when it comes to the way you treat me. Now, I did just say cheating was different. Because I don't know. I just feel like that's going to happen. So I'm almost knowing that is going to happen. But the way you talk to me, the way you handle me, you're not doing anything with me. We're not progressing in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and any form of disrespect. I'm just not that girl for you because my mouth is wicked and I can go there. And what I don't want to do is undermine who you are by retaliating towards you, by something you're doing to me. I just don't want to do that. I don't do a whole lot of back and forth banter. Negative banter with somebody that I'm involved with. I don't do a lot of arguing. That's why a lot of, times I hear you seem so nonchalant. I'm not nonchalant. I just know what to prioritize. And to me, if it's hard work to be with you, it's not meant to be. Because when you're loving on somebody, it shouldn't be hard. That means that, they got too many ways that you're overlooking. You've got too many ways that they're overlooking. There are too many red flags that are coming up, but no one's saying anything, or we're all trying to deal with them in a different way, ultimately changing who we are or how we are so that we can conform to each other's lifestyle. No, flaws and all. I'm not going to get with you and be like, oh, well, I don't mind you smoking, knowing that eventually will get on my last nerve that you smoke. Yeah, we're out in a bar or something and they have smoke in there or whatever. Good example, a person who smokes cigars. I don't mind a person going to a cigar bar because I've been there to have a cigar as a social thing here or there. Okay, here or there. But if you are a true cigar smoker, I'm not gonna like that, because you're gonna always smell like cigar. And then eventually you're gonna be like, if we ever get together where we are sharing homes, then you're gonna use the basement, you're gonna use the garage, you're gonna use whatever. You could probably got a smoking humidor in your house. I already know that's just not gonna be something that I would deal with. Do I go smoke a cigar at a cigar bar here and there? Sure. But that's because that's what we were doing at that time. Have I ever bought cigars to bring to my home, talking about sitting in the house or sitting anywhere around my vicinity smoking them? No. But if there's a man that I meet that smokes cigars, trust and believe he's not only smoking them at the cigar bar, he's smoking them at home. That's a deal breaker for me. So me knowing that I'm going to eventually not like that, I wouldn't date somebody seriously like that. It just wouldn't happen for me. So we don't want to get with somebody and asking them to conform. You accept it in the beginning and then you don't like it later. It's an issue later. Like, that's not fair to that person. If you know a girl that you meet wears weave and you don't like weave ever because you want to touch her hair, but that's all she does is wear weave, don't get with her and then 6 months to a year down the line, you like, baby, I don't really like you wearing that weave. You need to stop wearing it. Well, that's how you met her. She's a weave wearing woman. Or baby, I don't like lashes to the windshield, but that's how you met her. You ain't say nothing then. So you're trying to peel back all these, characteristic labels that she has for herself, or just these characteristic layers that she has of herself to make herself feel good and look good. You're taking those away from her because that's not what you like. Men say all the time they don't like a woman that wears a lot of makeup, but yet that's what's on their arm. They don't like it, and what they're doing is they're accepting it, and then eventually it's going to be a problem. So I don't know. Don't get with somebody and expect them to change for you and the relationship. They may send their representative in the beginning, but eventually the mask comes off, the more comfortable we get, and then we start to be ourselves. And then we have to reintroduce ourselves to that person that we're with. And when you're reintroducing yourself to that person that you're with, it's normally negative. It's normally, oh, I don't like that about you. It's normally, I don't know if I can deal with that. So don't set yourself up, ladies or men. Back to the cheating part. I used to have an uncle that say, they ain't cheating if you ain't married. That's true. That's true. Technically. Because you make promises and vows to God, before God. So, that is true. However, if you're in a monogamous relationship and a committed relationship, and you feel like you want to go out here and be among the wild and loose, you want to cheat with a woman because she likes messing with married men, or you want to cheat with a man because he likes messing with married women so that there's no commitment. These people are out here sleeping with more than just you. I have a friend who is dating a married man. She's no longer a friend, but I have an associate who's dating a married man, and she's been dating him for years. And she said what they have works for them. I said, okay, he gets with you. Y'all go out here and there. He never can stay. He has to come hit it, quit it, go home. And he has to have real life with his wife. And you're always second. You're never, all your holidays are after the day after. You never have a plus one moment. It's a lot going on but you can pretend and say that, oh, we're good together and that type of thing. But that's not true. That's not true. Every event, you're by yourself. Every event. And then if he does come out, he can't stay. And I don't know. I just, when you're down and out, when you need money, when you needed some help, he wasn't there to help you. And what you told me was, he wasn't there because, or what she told me was, she didn't want his help. Well, you've been dating him for 8, 9, 10 years. Why wouldn't you want his help? Why? Especially when it comes to your livelihood. So anyway, all of that is a lie. I just know it's a lie. I don't doubt that she loved him or whatever at one point, but being second forever, no ma'am. And believe in karma. Most people who cheat don't trust nobody. They don't trust nobody because they are afraid that that person is going to do what they're doing. Have you ever noticed that someone makes an accusation of you based on how they act or how they move? Like, you have trust issues because you're the untrustworthy one. You're untrustworthy. That's why you have trust issues. I mean, it's just that simple. It's crazy. I don't cheat. And I don't care for men that cheat because I'm second to nobody. And I like to live out loud with my man. If we're together, we're together. We're out, we're out. I'm not dodging and hiding and all of that just to hang out with you. It's too many single people out here. I'm not doing that. You have reduced me to its finest of low compound, low vibration when you want me to take back seat to your wife. No. Mm-mm. I think that's so disrespectful. And what makes you think that what makes me think, or how do I know you're going to be loyal to me? You're not. It's just not you. I ain't knocking it. I just don't want to deal with it. So yeah, I just, I had to come on here and say something about that. The question that I have is, if a man cheats on you and you don't want to marry him, why are you still with him? What's the benefit of that? And then second, if you're not married, is it really cheating? I don't know. If you're in a committed relationship, I mean, does that mean you, I just don't know. I know how I would want it to be, but I feel like, that's not how it really is. Of course, we all want certain things. So I'm getting ready to go home, and I don't know why they put in a car wash here. I'm getting ready to go home and get out of these clothes and put on something else and probably go have a drink myself to wind down the Memorial Day weekend. Works tomorrow. I've met my goal. Well, I'm $20 short of my goal. $100, $20 short of $100 today, but that's okay. That's okay. I stopped early. Had I still wanted to drive, I would definitely hit my goal and probably surpass it, I'm sure. I mean, I had a request out from Lithonia to the airport for $32, but I would have had to go from Lithonia to the airport, then back home. Like, that was just too much. So I wasn't ready to do all that. And it wouldn't put me home until probably 2:30. So I'd have been to the airport twice today. So with that being said, y'all put y'all answers in the comments based on my questions. And just let me know. Am I just being too unrealistic, or am I being too harsh? Am I just not understanding? I love, but not at any cost. I'm just not finna give that type of grace. Not at any cost. So, but yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day. I'll be putting all of this in my vlog tonight for tomorrow. All right. That's just that on that. Holla.